I'm starting it.
Alright.
Hold on. We should probably do this real quick.
The increased Roblox sound.
Alright,
The
I think
increased
we are live.
Alright.
So, welcome to the first ever edition of Mitch's post-game analysis and news. We're gonna go over we're gonna analyze some stuff that happened in tonight's WGHL game that was about 11 minutes ago. Ended about 11 minutes ago. And then we're going to go over some NHL news. And Bentley, do you have any PWHL news that's very interesting?
Not necessarily. I mean, they've had some pretty good record-breaking attendance lately, which is actually really good for the sport in general. Because you don't really see that in hockey. Like, you stick with the NHL. The NHL is because attendance is the only the NHL.
Alright. First off, I'm going to start with the analysis of tonight's game that happened about 12 minutes ago now. I really think that should have been Colorado's game, and I'm very glad they won. I think they truly deserve that, and that's pretty much it. I think that comeback was immaculate on their part, and some of their goals were quite impressive. Some of them were mediocre at best. Philadelphia put up a good fight up until the third when Colorado scored 4 unanswered on them. So, what about you, Bentley?
I agree with all your things that you just said. Yeah, they're doing really good. Especially for a team that just made a comeback, like, from the bottom of the league to the finals, right? That's actually insane.
Super impressive.
Yeah.
Alright. It's time for the news edition, or news part of this. We are going to go, and first I'm going to start out with some news for the Maple Leafs. I've been watching Martin Jones. He's been doing pretty good. He won against the San Jose Sharks. Not super impressive, but a 7-1 win against the Sharks is not bad. We know the Sharks offense can sometimes be a little good with, who is it, Mikhail Granlund, and, well, only person that scored in that game for the Sharks was Henry Thun from a pass from Jan Ruda, making the game 7-1. Super impressive. Jones had a .972 save percentage throughout the week, and he's been the replacement for Samsonov, who has had a very tough start to his season. And Wool has been on the sidelines for most of the games. Well, Jones takes it. He's on a pretty cheap contract too, which is surprising. He's an NHL veteran. So, very impressive.
Yeah.
All right, Bentley, what do you got?
Speaking of Samsonov, he's been taken off of waivers and he's been put back on the Maple Leafs after that iffy start to the season. I don't agree with the Leafs for deciding to do that because he's not that good now, is he? He might have been good last year, but not this year.
He's definitely off his game. There's been some goalies this year that have been like that. Notable ones are Igor Shesterkin. And there's some gems. Jari has been...
He's been
very off and on this season. He's been somewhat good.
He's had some
in many games, but generally
terrible.
he's quite an average goalie. He's going to be somewhat impressive starter.
Him and Connor Ingram currently lead the leagues in shutouts, though, which is actually very impressive.
Very impressive with the quote-unquote defensive core that the Penguins have, which is really just Chris Letang and Marcus Pettersson. But
yeah, I would have to agree.
All right, and speaking of the Penguins, Carlson's been having a great experience with his with his in his first season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's got 28 points, 7 goals, 21 assists, making that up pretty good. He said in an interview that it's been a great experience for me, coming in here and joining such an exclusive club that they have here. I think with the people that they've had here for a period of time and what they've gone through and what they've accomplished. And he continue on. So for me, I think it's just fun to be able to be a part of that and hear their thoughts and things that I haven't heard before. At the same time, being able to share experiences that I've had. Super impressive. Probably one of the best pickups the Penguins have gotten off a trade for a while. It's been a while since the Penguins have had a good trade like that, trading away all that bad cap for a pretty solid guy in Carlson. Not too defensive, but he can definitely bring that extra punch that you need to a game.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah, Connor Bedard's finally, he's had his surgery. He is out for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but currently, he leads points, he leads the goals and assists, as well as the points for all rookies this NHL season. At 33 points, with 15 goals and 18 assists.
Pretty impressive.
Really good.
That Marco Rossi and Adam Fantilli tied up for points behind Connor Bedard at 24 points. Bedard's doing better than a lot of veterans this season. Let me see. Let me check who he's doing better than so far. Connor Bedard had 33 points. He is doing better than notable names could be William Karlsson, Morgan Riley, Claude Giroux, Rasmus Dahlin, Nikolai Ehlers, Nazem Kadri, Roman Josi, Tyler Seguin.
Tied with Victor Hedman.
Alex Tuck. Brady Tkachuk. Very surprising, only at 29 points. Behind Connor Bedard. Kyle Connor. Behind Connor Bedard, but looks like he's not playing every game, might be injured. Erik Karlsson does trail him. Same with Mikhail Granlund, Cole Caulfield, Jordan Kyrou. And that's about it for notable names. Ovechkin trails Bedard. Now, Ovechkin's getting up there in age, but he's still scoring in the top 150, looks like it. Which is still pretty good for his age. What is he, 38, 39 now?
I think so.
Yeah. Alright.
He's old.
Yeah. Phoenix Copley, however you say it, for the Los Angeles Kings is out for the reason of having an ACL surgery. He sustained the injury in practice on the 15th. Pretty bad getting injured in practice. He's been a pretty good force for the Kings. And unfortunately, looks like their goalies are going to be David Riddick and Cam Talbot. Cam Talbot will be their starter. Talbot hasn't been very bad this season, but he's old, so it's likely that his game might flunk later in the season. Same with David Riddick. I believe he is also old. Yes. Not very old. Only 31. Bentley?
Yeah.
You have any more stories?
No.
All right.
I do not.
Cutter I forgot how to say his name. Gout. Isn't it Gautier?
Gauthier? The guy from the Flyers?
Yeah, Cutter Gauthier.
I think it's Gauthier.
Cutter Gauthier has stated that he does not, or stated that he did not want to play for the Flyers, and he was traded away, and this was pretty good fleecing by the Anaheim Ducks, who got Gauthier and only had to send over Jamie Drysdale, who has been quite injury prone, and a second round pick, which for someone who can easily take a spot on their first line in the near future, I think Gauthier is going to have a great time with the Ducks. He actually stated previously that he was a Penguins fan, which makes sense why he would not want to play with the Philadelphia Flyers, who are the Penguins'
Biggest rival.
Biggest rival.
Behind like who? The outside stick is McKinnon, and then the Capitals because of what's his name? Ovechkin.
Yeah, no. Penguins' biggest rivals are the Philadelphia Flyers, of course, and New York Rangers and Capitals. But also the Leafs, because no one likes the Leafs.
Yeah.
Except
Unless
for
you're from
Leafs
Toronto.
fans. Except for Toronto.
So you live in actually, I think it's like the Argos. The only people who like them are from Oshawa. Or if you're a foreigner. You're just looking to finish off in another country.
Surprisingly, Brad Marchand has said that Crosby is not getting the credit he deserves right now. Brad Marchand and Crosby have had a friendship off the ice, from what I've seen. But on the ice, not so much. But nonetheless, I would say they're pretty tight. Crosby with 41 points. I'm not sure if that's even updated. Crosby's got... Yeah, 41 points. Okay, Crosby with 41 points. He's 36. People seem to be sleeping on this guy a lot lately. He's still a force, even at the age of 36. I do think that the Crosby line that is currently being played, it is Gensel, Crosby, and Raquel. Raquel is on fire so far after coming back from some sort of injury. I believe, if I'm not wrong, it was lower body. He has been on fire on that Crosby line. Works very well with Crosby. And another rising star for the Penguins, Valtteri Puustinen. Puustinen. He's been great, but Mike Sullivan just isn't playing him, and I really don't think that's any good. Puustinen has put up points in almost every single game that he's played in, even while being one of the least played players on the Penguins, right below Jansen Harkins. So, very unfortunate. Jansen Harkins has also been pretty good on that fourth line next to Jeff Carter and who's centering the fourth line? It's
Who is it? See, we're gonna pull Toronto's on here, and it's a no-name player.
with Noel Achari centering that fourth line. So it's Harkins, Achari, and Carter. Powerful fourth line right there. Harkins has got that little extra energy from being one of the younger players on this team. Jeff Carter's got his sniper prowess, as you might say. And Achari is just a solid guy at center. He's quite good two-way. He's just always on the ice. He's always on each end of the ice. playing his two-way. Recently, Smith, Riley Smith has been dumped down to third line, unfortunately. But he just hasn't been playing like he did at the start of the season. Second line makes up O'Connor, Malkin, and Rust. Pretty powerful, although, in my opinion, if I were Mike Sullivan, I would switch out Pusanen and Rust. But that's just me. To have O'Connor, Malkin, and Pusanen. Because Pusanen has been great next to Evgeny Malkin, as we saw in a few games earlier. I believe that is it for NHL news and me and Bentley's thoughts on some of the teams, unless Bentley has any other thoughts on something happening on the teams. We're going to take a look at some statistics now, right?
Yep.
Alright. Alexander Gorgiev leads goaltenders in wins, although his save percentage not too impressive. Sub 900, he's got a .895. Not a horrible goals against average. 2.97. Somewhat impressive. One unexpected goaltender this year has been Connor Ingram for the Arizona Coyotes. He's got a .915 save percentage and 2.62 goals against average. This Arizona Coyotes team could be a playoff team. It's pretty good. Super excited to see what this team can cook up. And another goalie that's been on the rise is Joey Decord for the Seattle Kraken with a .29 or .23 save percentage and a 2.28 goals against average. Decord is solid guy in net.
Yeah.
Pucks are not going past this guy. On a Seattle team that doesn't have... It's got a pretty solid defense. Not the best in the league, that's for sure. And some disappointing goaltenders this year have been...
Igor
Shesterkin.
Tristan Jarry. Occasionally.
Some disappointing goaltenders have been Antti Ranta, Ilya Samsonov, like we said earlier. Jack Campbell. He was put on waivers earlier this season.
I think he's playing at Bakersfield currently.
Wow. Yep. That's pretty disappointing.
Who else has been disappointing?
Andrei Vasilevsky hasn't been the best. He's currently 32 in the goalie standings for save percentage. But you know who's number 50? Igor Shesterkin. Pretty sad. This is just going off save percentage, though. So, his game could be totally different, but from what I've heard from most Rangers fans, they don't think he's too hot this season. Not exactly sure why he's going to the All-Star game.
Oh, God, he is.
Panarin. But that's something the New York Rangers are doing. The second Matt Murray has gotten a shutout. And
he's currently, he's playing in Texas, the Texas Stars.
Yes. When did he get the shutout? It was against Minnesota 2 days ago. He saved 23 shots. That was his first game this season. 25-year-old goaltender from Alberta, Canada. Only ever played 3 other games in his career, lost 2 of them. Now he has 1 NHL shutout. Could be the Jake Ottinger replacement, because Jake Ottinger has also not been very good this season. At 39 in the goalie standings, with just over a .900 save percentage at .901. Some other impressive players that I'm seeing on the list of currently, the player with the worst plus minus is Philip Zadina, the San Jose Sharks, which is not surprising.
Not shocking.
It's the San Jose Sharks. Let's see. What's the first one that isn't from a tanking team? Tampa Bay Lightning. Steven Stamkos with the worst plus minus from a non-tanking team. Although I'm not exactly sure what Tampa Bay's doing if they're letting 18 goals with Stammer out on the ice. Leading in points for the NHL is Nikita Kucherov, 67. Quite surprised it isn't point. Second is McKinnon. Third is Panarin, obviously. And
Shocking.
fourth is Pasta. Fifth, of course, William Nylander, who just got a new contract. I think they're overpaying him. Bentley?
Would have to agree on that, honestly. Currently, though, the goalie leading in shutouts is Alec Connell of the Ottawa Senators with 7 shutouts. Just trailed by Jake Forbes of the Hamilton... Wait, this is from 1924. I'm in the wrong year. Give me a second. Anyways, currently leading in shutouts is Connor Ingram and Tristan Jarry, both tied at 4. Followed by Thatcher Demko of the Vancouver Canucks. Surprisingly, Ian Hill is at the top, despite the fact that he's a Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, I don't think the Golden Knights are going to make the same run they did last year.
First round.
In the West, it's definitely the powerful ones are probably going to be LA and
Vancouver.
Yeah, I always forget they're in the West. I always think there's a different division for that. All right, leading in goals is Austin Matthews. Not surprising at all. Sidney Crosby is at 10th in the league for goals at 22. Who has been quite disappointing for goals this season. Not seeing too many disappointing names here for goals. Of course, Connor Bedard is at place 51 with 15 goals, but he's also got that 33 points, and it's his rookie season. So, not going to put too much crap on that 18-year-old guy. Pretty good. Pretty good at hockey. Leading in game-winning goals, Mason McTavish for the Anaheim Ducks. He's got 3 game-winning goals.
Former first-rounder, too.
Super impressive. Ton of players tied at 3 from the likes of Seth Jarvis, Lucas Raymond, Jack Hughes, Hoglander, Logan O'Connor, Keandre Miller, who's a defenseman. Quite impressive. Evan Bouchard, Velarde, Troy Terry, Kirill Kaprizov, who I believe is out on injury or was out. Not entirely sure. Hintz, Bessier, and then we drop to number 2 game-winning goals. Notable names here: Bo Horvat, Barkov, Bjorkstrand, Gensel, Kubalik, Wilson, Tom Wilson, Mark Scheifele, Nugent Hopkins, Nino Niederreiter, Jeff Skinner. Surprised that Jeff Skinner's doing this good this season. Tarasenko, Tomas Tatar, who got traded from the Colorado Avalanche. I was unaware he was on the Avalanche. He got traded to the Seattle Kraken. He can be a great third liner. Guy you can bring up if someone gets injured. Erik Karlsson with 2 game-winning goals. Ovechkin. Evgeny Malkin. Pretty impressive. These guys are tucking in these goals when they really need it. Alexis Lafreniere with 2 game-winning goals. And among defensemen with the most goals, Rasmus Dahlin at 12. Not very surprising. Followed by Quinn Hughes at 11. Cale Makar with 9. They're all pretty solid defensemen, as well as being pretty solid at scoring goals. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's episode of Mitch's post-game analysis and news. I'm your host, Mitch. And there's Bentley.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching. You can follow the TANT Sports on Twitter for more updates on when the next game is going to be, and the WGHL Twitter. Thank you for watching.